Hi, I'm Travis. If you clicked on this link, you probably want to know who I am, what I blog about, and whether you should check out my fantasy novels. Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's start with the second question. My blog, Mechanical Fictionering, is the overlap between fantasy and science fiction, mechanical engineering, and DIY. It's sort of a fantasy-focused Mythbusters, if you will, where I take something from fiction and use the powers of engineering and the writing style of DIY to see how possible that thing would be. It could be the heat transfer of blocking dragon fire with a metal shield, or the macros that might make it possible for Lembas bread to sustain a tall man of Minas Tirith for a full day's march, or the force required for Superman to catch Lois Lane after a 300-foot fall. I also do a lot of straight-up DIY articles, but usually with a scientific angle of some kind, like my year-long series of semi-scientific experiments in search of the perfect biscuit recipe. Now, who am I? As you've probably gathered, I am a nerd. I've worked as a mechanical engineer doing R&D on industrial robots for over 10 years. I love to make stuff. I read, or these days listen to, 50 to 60 fantasy and science fiction books a year. I'm a semi-fanatical CrossFitter, an overly competitive board game player, a father of 3, a committed Christian, and, yes, an author of fantasy novels. This is my newest novel, Soulwinder, a standalone fantasy that follows 3 apparent strangers to an enchanted tournament they're all desperate to win. It's sort of the Black Prism meets the usual suspects. Check it out. Let me know what you think. I also have a 2-book young adult series about a cadre of teenagers training as elite rebel spies before betrayal tears them apart. It's low fantasy, meaning no magic or dragons, but it's set in an imaginary world with plenty of trickery, deceit, and, yes, sword fighting. That's it. Thanks for listening. Check out the blog, listen to one of my books, and connect with me on Facebook to be the first to hear about new content.